Coming up here on the Braves Sports Network, we have the head coach Nate Kilbert program, the season premiere of the Nate Kilbert program here on the Braves Sports Network, 91.7 WPRL, WPRL.org. We're on Facebook Live and also on YouTube, Braves Sports Network. Happy New Year. Glad you could join us. The season premiere of the Nate Kilbert program. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, we'll have the season premiere of the Landon Bussey programs. And we anticipate those times throughout the course of the season. Of course, it'll be different with the Lady Braves and the women's games taking place on Thursdays and Saturdays. So a little bit of juggling that'll take place. In years past, it's been pretty simple, but sometimes life's not so simple. We'll try to simplify it for you, but we do know that we anticipate the Nate Kilbert program will be every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. A couple of technical glitches were on at the bottom of the hour. So we'll get as much in as we can. And the good thing is for the Lady Braves, it's just one game. Jackson State, that's our travel partner. So we were off yesterday. Full slate of games on Thursday as well as Saturday. We'll talk about it. And Alabama State and Alabama A&M roll into town coming up on this next homestand. 3 in a row at home to start the season. Charles Edmond, our producer, Cedric Tillman, Jamario Brooks. And ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Lady Braves head coach Nate Kilbert. Coach Kilbert, how you doing, sir?
Doing good, Charles. Doing good.
We appreciate it and apologize for the technical glitches. Probably my fault more so than anything, but hey, sometimes you got to own up to it and try to figure it out and fix it. So we are able to do that. Glad you can join us, Coach Kilbert. And the one thing about this schedule already, we play our travel partners in Jackson State, and of course, over the last few years, our travel partner has changed. I was texting somebody yesterday, assuming that it was Southern University because that's what it's been for so long. Jackson State's our travel partner, so we opened up with our travel partner, Jackson State. Then we were off yesterday, and here we go. So talk about it, Coach. A really good basketball game this Lady Braves team fought. Tough game, 67-64. Just give us your general thoughts, and of course, for those watching, we'll have highlights, and then we'll talk about the game as well. So just give us your thoughts on the game.
Charles, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Give us your thoughts on the game.
Well, be honest with you, Charles, I thought we played hard. I didn't think we played particularly well. I thought our chemistry was bad. Plus, we had a lot of kids coming back. Some of our starters was getting back for that game. I thought we just had bad chemistry, but we was able to stay in the ball game simply because we played so hard. I thought our kids did a real good job of just hanging in there. You could see some of the things that really bothered me during the game was the fact that you could. Some of my kids wasn't in the shape that they needed to be in because they're missing so much time. It was Cheatham first game back after a while. There was Finley first game from an ankle injury. But our kids continue to play hard. They continue to get out there. And I was really proud of the way they played, simply because I didn't expect for them to be playing no great ball game at that particular time as a team. But, we hung in there, did a good job, gave ourselves a chance to win, and I think that's all you really can ask for. We had a lot of opportunities there later in the ball game to tie the ball game up. Got some real good looks from some people who we really thought could make the shot, and unfortunately for us, it just didn't fall. We're going to get better though. After the game, I felt so much enthusiasm about the next game coming up. I couldn't wait to next Thursday came so we can get an opportunity to get back out there and show people exactly how good we're capable of being. We just got to get ourselves in better shape, get our team back, get our chemistry back, and I think you're going to see a good ball club. And Jackson played well in that game. I thought Jackson. I thought if you look at the overall officiating of the game, I thought they got the best calls of the game. We had some tough calls against us early in that game and late in that game as I watched film on it. But, I don't think officiating really determined who won the game, though. I thought we just had bad chemistry for the whole night, but I think our kids played extremely hard.
Well, the one thing that you told me about, Coach, is that this was the healthiest that we have been. And it's a good time, obviously, with the first conference game. We've been banged up, and for you to say this was the healthiest that we've been, that just kind of tells you, number one, how healthy that we weren't during non-conference. And so getting all those pieces back and trying to put the glue together and try to make it all work with the healthiest that we've been. I know it was a tough challenge going into that first conference game.
Oh, it really was, Charles. It was tough. It was tough on the kids, just just trying to get themselves back, so they actually can play and be a part of what we was doing. They was excited. I think that's one reason why we played so hard, because they were so happy to be back, feeling good about themselves. But I know Finley's biggest problem was she just wasn't in condition enough to be who she was capable of being in that game, simply because she couldn't run. I mean, she had a bum ankle for the last 2 or 3 weeks. She was in a boot. So when she came back, I thought she did a good job just hanging in there and giving herself an opportunity just to get out there and play a little bit. But overall, I feel good because we are healthy now. We don't have anybody other than Caitlin Watson. She's playing with a shoulder issue, with certain things that she can't do on her right side when it comes to her shoulder. But for the most part, this is probably the healthiest we've been in a long time.
And I know some fans were kind of looking at the lineup, expecting Destiny Brown to get the start, and others to get the start. Cheatham, just talk a little bit about that, Coach, because you did have to make some tough decisions in terms of, we assumed those starters would be there, but some tough decisions you had to make in terms of not starting Destiny Brown and Nakia Cheatham. Talk about that.
Well, for one thing, they're gonna have to fight and get their positions back, and we don't just give spots to people. Cheatham been out for almost 3 weeks. I mean, somebody else has been in that spot holding it down till she got back. And a matter of fact, the people that's in Cheatham's spot has been playing extremely well. Hopefully Cheatham will continue to play well, and eventually she'll get back into that spot. But right now, we got kids playing just as well as Cheatham and Destiny. I thought Destiny came in late in the game, and one thing that does when Destiny doesn't start for us, she don't get in early foul trouble. So you can look at that a lot of different ways. If she had started, she might have been in foul trouble the first quarter. Because as soon as she got in the game, she ended up getting in foul trouble. So we don't get caught up in that who starts the game. What's most important to me is who's finishing the game. And I think that's the most important thing, the people who are finishing the game. And we would love to have had Destiny out there finishing the game. But, because of foul trouble, she could not finish. We have the depth, I think, now to be able to do some of the things that we want to do. Whoever's playing the best basketball for us, that's who will be in the game. And hopefully that'll be Destiny. We know we need Destiny and Cheatham both because they're good ball players. But I'm not so caught up into who's starting. I'm more worried about who's going to finish.
And the Lady Braves had a chance to finish and maybe send it into overtime. As we get into it, Coach, got a chance to see Jackson State for the first time. Of course, you know the storyline. Tamika Reed no longer with the program, moved on to Charlotte. And you look at Margaret Richards, formerly the head coach at Alabama A&M. That was her first conference game. So you look at the lineup with Dilworth, Cotton, Masonite, Cooper, and Magua. So let's look at that lineup, Coach. What is it about Jackson State? We'll see them again, obviously, when we go to Jackson the second go round. But give folks a sense as to the difference with this Jackson State ball club. Not as long, not as height-ridden as we've known in the past, but still a team that can get up and down the floor. And I thought very active defensively, especially in the passing lanes.
Yeah, they were. They're real aggressive on both sides of the ball, Charles. They're real aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. They're aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. I think a good thing for them that they did against us, they shot the three ball okay. They were six, but I think for 13, 14, something like that. I know they made 6 3-point shots, and that's something that we wanted to make them do, take a lot of threes because they want to get downhill. But I think the biggest thing with this Jackson State team is they are hard to scout because you don't really know who's going to score for them now. They got so many people that's capable of doing it, and they have a different person just about on every other night. The kid from Kentucky State, Dilworth, is probably the only one who's been consistent for scoring the ball for them. But they got 4 or 5 kids that's been getting 6 or 8 points a game, and that lets you know that all of them are quite capable of scoring. So now you got to be honest on all sides of the ball when it comes to who you're playing. You can't help as much on one particular person because all 5 of them can score the ball, and we're kind of like that too because we can spread it around a little bit more now, and that makes it difficult to scout people. It makes it difficult to defend people too, and because now you got to trust what you want to give up, and we would like to we would like for them to have shot more 3-point shots, or at least attempted them, and cause they got us in foul trouble by driving hard to the basket. That's one thing. When you play Jackson State, they are a different team. They are not as talented as they've been in the past, but they're still a good basketball team. But they're someone who we think that we got a great chance of beating the next time we play them. If we can get ourselves together when it comes to chemistry, and we get more focus on us, I think we got our crew back now, and we just stay healthy. I'm looking forward to some of the upcoming games, to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to the game on Thursday. I'm looking forward to meeting Jackson again. I just feel like we have a great opportunity to be a real good basketball team, and Jackson is going to be in our way. So eventually we'll see him again.
Well, Talia Dilworth was their leading scorer, and you shared the story with us that was someone that you were looking at for the Lady Braves program. She had 19 points, a rebound, 4 of 9 from the free throw line in 35 minutes. What really jumped off the sheet, and when you saw her play, what was impressive about her performance and impressive about her game?
Well, all the stuff about her game, we already knew about it. I mean, like I said, we recruited her. We tried to get her to come to Alcorn. She chose to go to Jackson State, but we knew she was someone who really wanted to get to the basket. She wanted to do everything downhill. She's not a great 3-point shooter, but I think she made maybe 1 or 2 against us. But that's something you want her to do, take more threes than, because once she starts heading towards the basket, she's very difficult to deal with. She knows how to draw fouls. She knows how to jump into you while you on defense, and but she didn't show us anything different from what we saw in recruiting her and what we saw on film in some of Jackson State early non-conference ball games. She gave us just what we thought she was going to give us, and we have to do a better job next time we play them against her. Have to force her to shoot more threes than. But I'm saying we have to force her to shoot more threes, but it's very difficult to keep her in front of you. I mean, I just watch some of the things she do, the way she handles the ball, and when she make up her mind what she's going to do, she's going strong that way. She's not a freshman or a young kid. She knows what she's doing, and so when she start heading to the basket, she can get all the way to the basket, and she got a nice little pull up. And I thought we did a decent job against her in certain parts of the ball game, but she made some big basket for them, and she's a good basketball player. But yeah, she's no one that we don't feel like we can deal with.
Well, it was 28-25, Jackson State at the break. They kind of got a little lead on us, but we kept fighting, Coach. Talk about the halftime, what you saw in that first half when it was a 3-point Jackson State lead, 28-25.
Yeah, but Charles, there were opportunities in that first half where we could have actually pulled away. We had a 5-point lead at some point in there, and we just went
Yeah.
into a little drought where we didn't score anymore. I think Destiny had came out the game during that time, but we had our opportunities to really score and pull away from them, and we didn't. And we allowed them to get back in the game and take the lead on us. But it was nick and tack. I mean, both teams was going back and forth with each other. I really thought when we got that technical foul against us, that kind of gave them some separation and gave them a little bit more comfort going into the third quarter. In the third quarter when the score was tied 28-28, I think. And after we got that technical, they kind of pulled away from us a little bit. But that game was real close, So if we just keep doing some of the things that we were doing, we had an opportunity to really pull away. But Jackson pulled away, got a 15-point lead on us, and we had to do some things to get back in that game, which we picked them up more with our pressure, full court, and we turned them over a lot more. If you look at the game, Charles, we beat them in a lot of phases of the game. We out rebounding them. I think they made more threes than what we did, but free throws. I think free throws and 3-point shots are probably two of the things that they beat us at. But all the other phases of the game, I think we beat them. When it came to we turned the ball over less, we rebound the ball better than what they did. They just they made their free throws and got more free throw opportunities than what we did.
And for those watching, you can see Nakia Cheatham. How about that 3 there, Coach, to kind of add to that run, down by as many as 15, as you mentioned. And we cut it to 5 going into the fourth quarter. And for those watching, you can see that deep shot. Clearly it counted. There's no doubt about that. That was a little spark plug, Coach, to kind of get us into the fourth quarter.
Well, she has a knack for making shots like that. To be honest with you, but just someone you talking about, just her first game back, Charles. She only had maybe two practices, for this conference play. It's been tough for her just to get her groove back, and she's slowly getting it back. Been had a good practice these last few practices, and now you hadn't seen the real Alcorn State Lady Braves team yet. We're slowly going to get better and better, and getting Cheatham back is a big start. I thought she played better in the second half than what she did in the first half. She started to do some of the Cheatham-like things in the second half, like offensive rebounding the ball, being tough with the ball down low, and those are some of the things we've been missing. But that was a big shot. I thought I really.
Well, apparently, oh, there we go. Yeah, Coach, in that fourth quarter, I mean, you talked about Cheatham and the job that she did on that buzzer beater, but then we were down 7, Coach, in that fourth quarter with 141 left. If we fast forward, it's 64-57, 141 left. We cut it to 2 in the final seconds, actually down 3 with 19 seconds left. Talk about that frenetic minute span in which we went from being down 7 to within a possession in the final minute of the game.
Charles, I think we turned them over probably about like 3 times in a row and scored all of them except for other 3 times we turned them over. I think we scored twice, and the last time we turned them over, we did not score. But we got the ball back out of bounds. We ended up knocking it out of bounds, and I think we ended up getting it back. And I remember we only being down 2 points and had 3 possessions to tie the game. And we just didn't. I thought we got good shots, but we were unable to put them in the basket. But just to be able to get yourself back to that position to have an opportunity to tie the game, I thought was huge for us. I thought we got good looks. I thought Finley got 2 good looks at it. I thought Zanaya White got a good look. It just wasn't meant to be. But I think a lot of that with Finley had to do with conditioning, because those are shots that she makes all day in practice, and she done made them in the past when she was playing, and she wasn't hurt. So I like where we are. I thought DeLasia came in the game, the little point guard came in the game for us and did a real good job of helping us get our tempo going, getting our energy up. And I thought she did a real good job of helping us get back in the game with her defense. And she turned them over a lot and got our team going. But we didn't never feel like we was out of the game. We always feel like we had a chance to win the game, even when we was 15 down. And I remember telling them in the hull, this game a long way from being over, because I know we hadn't played that great. To be honest, we didn't play that great the whole ball game, but our energies were good. We was playing hard, and I felt like with that minute and something left, hey, that's a long time. And when we was only down 7 points, I feel like we was right there, right where we wanted to be. We needed to make some shots though. And I didn't think we shot free throws well enough to win that game, especially down the stretch. And you have to be able to shoot free throws well. You have to make open shots, and we didn't do that. But I'm still proud of the team because of their effort was super. If we can keep this same kind of effort on Thursday night, I think we'll come out victorious.
We'll talk about the last shot, Coach, as Nakia Cheatham had a deep 3, almost a half-court shot at the buzzer. I mean, you obviously had to get a 3 off there, and she did get it off. Just talk about their final play.
Well, that's just, you got to hope that go in. You don't look to make that shot a lot because only a few seconds left in the game, and she heaving it from cross half court, and it almost went in. But like I said, those she don't make those kind of shots. You got to be a little nervous when she has the ball in her hand. She was making those kind of shots last year. She made one of those shots to beat Prairie View. So she knows how to get the ball around the rim late in the ball game, and she's somebody who's it's dangerous to have the ball in her hand with you being up only 1 or 2, because she knows how to get the ball around the rim, and all you could do is throw it up there, and she did. Almost went in.
Final was 67-64. Good basketball game. Jackson led by as many as 15. We led by 4 early. When you look at the Lady Braves scoring, 15 from Zanaya White, 16 from Destiny Brown, and she didn't even start, Coach. She didn't even start and got you 16. Assistant Coach Elvis Robinson told me this early in the season. Destiny Brown can give you 13 or 14 getting out of the bed every day. All I got to do is put on the slippers and let's go. And you didn't start her. She was in foul trouble, and she still gave you 16 and 8. Zaniyah White with 15, Kiera Henderson with 10, 7 points for Cheatham. And talk about DeLasia Hurt Floyd, Coach. You had Floyd and Houston in that lineup. Talk about what you expect from those two when they're in the lineup.
Well, we expect for those two to bring us energy because both of them just sophomores who haven't really played a lot. But I thought both of them did a real good job of just coming in and just buying us some time, especially DeLasia at the point guard position and Houston at Destiny position. They just got to come in and buy some time. And I thought their energy level really helped turn that ball game around, to be honest with you. Cause so soon as DeLasia came in the game, she got putting her hands on all over the ball and getting some layups and hit a big three. So she's just really made a big impact on what we was trying to do. Early in the ball game and late. It's just a matter of them, getting more experience now. Now that's kind of hard when you have two sophomores who play the way that they play, and a lot of upperclassmen ahead of them. So, and whenever they come in the game, they have to really show us what they can do. And I thought both of them played extremely well for us. We expecting more from Houston, especially when Destiny get in foul trouble. She has to be a good defender for us and have to be a good rebounder. We don't necessarily need her to be a big time scorer for us. If she does, that's fine. But if she's going to have to rebound and defend, and I thought she did a decent job of that against Jackson.
Arena AK Polar more time in the non-conference. It looks like her confidence, Coach, is really soaring through the roof. I mean, getting back from the injury last year, pretty good 3-point shooter. Got a chance to knock those down in non-conference. It looks like she's playing with a flow and a pace about her, with some confidence too.
Well, I think her biggest issue is we're not getting her the playing time that she needs. She needs more playing time. She probably deserves more playing time because her work ethics are good. I mean, she had a great workout today. She came back for an individual workout. She's gonna turn some heads. I can tell you that right now. She's gonna be a big part of what we're trying to do as the season go along, and because she can really shoot the ball. She's strong. She's not afraid of anything. She's tough. She has everything that it takes to be a real good basketball player. Now her problem is that the coaches, we got to find a way to get her more playing time. It's simple.
And then talk about Ashani Backus and running the point. We've talked about the point guard situation throughout non-conference. Ashani Backus in the point guard position. Did you see how she was able to get us into our stuff offensively running the point?
Yeah, she's getting better and better. I mean, she's starting to be a little extension of me on the court. I want her to get to the point where I don't have to call plays from the sideline as much as I do. I want her to start seeing some of the things that I see as a coach when she's out there. And I don't want her to be afraid to make mistakes because she's going to make mistakes. I think that's a lot of her problem is that she's so conscious of making mistakes. A lot of times she forget about to just play, and but she's doing a good job. She's playing a lot better as the season go along. Seems like the more games she playing, the better that she play. My biggest thing with her is just in Delasia is just taking care of the ball. I want both of them to take care of the ball, do a better job of getting other people open because that's what point guards do. I want them to do a better job of taking care of the ball, getting people who they feel like who are not involved in the game, get them involved in the game. Like Maya Claytor need help. She needs help when it comes to her getting shot. She's not someone who can get her own shot. You got to be when she get open, you got to get the ball to her. You can't miss her. And those are the things we're talking to our point guards about. When she come off those screens, the ball got to be there, and they're starting to get better and better at that.
Kaylin Watkins, we talked about her situation, the shoulder. She's playing with a brace, and we've known this. You've known it for quite some time. That's a injury she suffered a while ago. How do you think she played through that? She didn't play against Ole Miss in the last game, just trying to get her some rest. How did she perform?
I thought she did okay. I thought she did okay simply because there are certain things that she can't do. There are certain passes she can't make because of the shoulder. I think it hurt us a couple of times in the press because there are people open in certain areas and she couldn't make that pass simply because of her shoulder. And she knows that, so we try to stay away from those areas that's going to put her in that difficult situation where she can't make a pass or can't make that play. But overall, I thought she played okay. She's tough. And that's what keeps her in the game. She's just so tough, and she can get away with things that other players might not can get away. But it's hurting phases of her game. She could be a better player if that shoulder wasn't there, because it's taken away from some of the things that she's good at, and now she's just okay at it. I mean, but overall, I thought she did a decent job.
Lady Braves lose a tough one, 67-64. How was the players' reaction in the locker room after a tough game like that? You know, all Corn Jackson State's always a lot of hype and build up around the game. And the storyline, obviously Margaret Richards, first year head coach of Jackson State, kind of won a couple of games in non-conference, first foray with Alcorn in the big rivalry. What was the speech to your team after the game?
Well, it really wasn't a speech. I mean, I kind of sit there and watch them and kind of let them absorb what had just happened. Losing. I could kind of see on their faces that was like, it wasn't about them. It was about us. We were the reason why we lost. It had nothing really to do with Jackson. And we know if we could have done some things better, we would have won the game. And normally after a Jackson State loss like that, you could really see the disappointment in our kids. But I saw something different with them. Like, okay, let's get to our next game so we can show people who we really are. We let this one slip away. Well, we can't let any more slip away. And I really felt that way. They was disappointed, but they wasn't devastated. They to me they was like, let's get to the next game. We got a lot of work to do. Let's get to the next game.
Lady Braves head coach Nate Kilbert. Coach, it was some drama. You and I talked about this. You like to dress in the attire. You said the attire for the game. You're just going to be a surprise. Kind of downplayed it. I thought it would be the NFL Hall of Fame gold jacket.
Too
By
early.
the okay,
Too early.
okay.
Yeah.
By the way, for those who might not know, in the championship game last year, Nate Kilbert showed up with purple and a gold jacket, and it looked like he was going to Canton. I thought Roger Goodell might pop up because it was the NFL gold. I thought you were going to wear that with some different combination, but kind of downplayed it. But it still looked nice anyway.
Yeah. Well, I tell the kids all the time. I tell the kids all the time, no matter what I got on, it don't really look good until we win.
Oh, yeah. That is when you win, all that even makes it even better, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, for those, again, people are still trying to get used to this new format. As we roll forward here, normally we wouldn't be playing until Saturday and Monday, but because of the new scheduling scenarios that are in place for this year, for those who might not know, women's games only on Thursday, the doubleheader Saturday. The men still play Saturday and Monday. So normally we wouldn't be playing after you play your travel partner, in this case Jackson State. We wouldn't be playing until Saturday, but you're right back at it Thursday. What adjustments have you made with this kind of shortened schedule that you got? You had Monday off, teams were playing Monday, but then in 48 hours, and by the way, the home games, the single games, the Monday only men's games, and the Thursday women's games will start at 6 o'clock at the Whitney Arena when we are at home. So just want to let everyone know, 6 o'clock, single games on Thursday and Monday for the men. But just the adjustments, coach, in preparing, for such a short turnaround. Thursday, then Saturday. You don't play on Monday, but then you got to turn around and get ready for a Thursday game again.
Well, actually gives us more time to get ready for the Thursday game. To be honest with you, Charles, because it's on a weekend. We after we play the Thursday game, we play that Saturday. We got Sunday. We got Sunday, which the kids are not in class. But we want to practice that next day after the game. We can take Monday off. We just got different options now. So we don't feel like we're being rushed to anything into the Thursday game, because we feel like we have a little bit more time. Especially when we're at home. Now, when we got to travel back from somewhere, that's a little different, because we want to use that Sunday as a travel day. Now we could take Monday off. Now you got Tuesday and Wednesday to get ready for Thursday, so that's a little different right there, which we hadn't experienced that yet. But yeah, overall, I don't think it's going to be a big issue for us preparing for game. The hardest game to prepare for is a Saturday game, because you only really have one day to prepare for it, and that's why the way we prepare is that we just work on what we do. I mean, we feel like all the defenses that we play is going to interrupt what they like to do on the offensive side of the ball, and that's against any team that we play. So we feel like our offense controls the tempo of the game, and it disrupt what they want to do on the defensive side. But we just have to play Lady Brave basketball on offensive side and the defensive side. And we feel like we're going to be in good shape. So that's how we really prepare. We prepare by preparing ourselves for what we like to do, and we can stop what they like to do by doing what we like to do. We just feel that way about it.
Well, this Thursday will be the second week of Thursday games. We didn't play obviously last Thursday, and the fans are still trying to get used to this. I was texting somebody yesterday that said they don't like it. They like the doubleheaders on Saturdays and Mondays, and now people have to get
You
used
are
to the
tuned into
Thursday,
WPRL
Saturday, and
91.7
Monday
FM,
games.
broadcasting from the
So,
campus of
what when talking with the other coaches this first Thursday foray, which was last Thursday, what are some of the comments that you've heard from some of the coaches for the Thursday games that we had last Thursday?
Well, we hadn't had a big conversation about it yet. I think after this week you probably start to hear more conversation about the Thursday game. Because remember, FAMU and Bethune did not play on Thursday either. Really,
Right.
Jackson and Alcorn didn't play on Thursday. So a few of us didn't play on Thursday. So now that everybody is playing on this coming Thursday, you probably see a little bit different. You start to hear a little more conversation about it, because at least everybody would be them played on that Thursday, even though some teams might be playing their traveling partner, but they played last Thursday. So everybody be done got that Thursday in, and you hear a little bit more conversation on it. Alabama State played this past Thursday, and that's who we play on Thursday. And they
Right.
didn't really. I didn't talk to their coaching staff a couple times. They didn't say nothing negative, nothing positive about it. I think it's business as usual. You know what I mean? They're just going about it. We got to do it. It's in for this year. I know ain't no sense of complaining about it. We'll wait till the end of the year to complain about it. I think teams are just going to go out and play, take advantage of whatever advantage they have. If there is an advantage, they're going to just try to take advantage of it.
I know people are asking, how did this happen? Did it, I've heard two different stories, and I know I'll get a chance maybe to talk to the commissioner about it at some point, but how did this happen? Was it because of the increase of women's basketball having their own night? I've heard some of the men's coaches generated this last year, and then I've heard others. What do you know about that? What can you tell us in terms of how that got started?
Be honest, to be honest with you, I really don't think anybody know exactly why it happened. We can only go by what we was told when it comes to the reason for doing it was to try to give women's basketball more opportunities to play on ESPN. I don't think that has happened yet when it comes to those opportunities, but I think that's the purpose of it, to try to give us more opportunity to be on television. So we're going to see how it works out as time go along. But I just don't know. I don't think anybody knows the whole story behind it. I think no more than what we was told.
Do you know if this is something that will go beyond this year? Is this a one-trick deal, a one-trick pony, or is this something that may be permanently incorporated?
I think it's going to be a lot of moving parts with this, and I think this year is going to really set the tone for whether we're going to go forward or not. I think if so many people complain about it, like our fans and like the universities start complaining, I think it'll be a 1 year deal and it'll be done. But if some good come from it, for as marketing wise or money wise, I think it might be another year. And a lot of times people say you have to give stuff time to really work to see how it's going to work. But then again, I feel like this year's going to be a big year for this, to determine whether or not we're going to stay with this or go back to what we was doing.
Well, what we're doing right now, Coach, is we're going to talk about these next couple of games. Is uh, the scores that have come down the line? Any surprises in terms of what you've seen? I mean, we got Alabama State. Frida Jackson's team is 2-0. You got Dawn Brown's team in her first year; they're 2-0. What do you see so far in the first few games of this conference season? Any surprises? I know you called me, you texted me last Thursday night at 9:00, and I thought something was wrong with you. I thought something was wrong, but you said, "Man, Texas Southern with a big win right off the bat," and obviously, they lost the next game. But what are you seeing so far in the first week of conference play and the ebbs and flows of the games?
Charlotte did not lose the next game. They're 2-0 now. They beat Southern, so they're 2-0. But I was more concerned in talking about the score, not necessarily who won the game, Charles. I was surprised Texas Southern beat Grambling the way they did. Not that they beat them, because they beat them last year when they much to me. Grambling was better last year than they are this year, talent wise. But Texas Southern beat them. I think Texas Southern beat them twice. So that wasn't surprising me that they beat them, but the score that the amount of points they put up on them, that was surprising to me, and I think that was the biggest thing right there, was the number of points they put up. But I'm not surprised about any of these scores, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be a dog fight. You better be ready to play when you step on that court now, because all these schools now have good ball clubs, and all of them are hungry, and you just better be ready to play. And because that first when conference play first started on that Thursday, I saw a lot of stuff going on there, a lot of moving parts, because Alabama State hadn't won a game in a while, and they jump out and win two in a row. And I thought Valley and Pine both teams had been playing well. They played a good tough schedule, and they played well in those games. But what I don't know, Charles, I don't know the injuries that other teams might be having. That's the one thing you don't know. You don't know what's going on with them when it comes to injuries, who's healthy, who's not, because it's so important. A lot of people missing some of their best kids because of injuries. So that's going to play a big part into who's going to be up on the top, who's going to be on the bottom.
Well, let's start with Alabama State. Frida Jackson's club, 58-46 win over UAPB and 64-49 over Valley, with Franklin Tucker, Graham Harris, and Taylor Smith. What can we expect from Frida's ball club? She's been there a long time. She's been through the ups and the downs. Her team's on the upside at 2-0. What do you expect?
We expect to play against a physical basketball team. We expect for them to be tough. We don't expect to get no easy basket. We expect for them to come out and give us a zone type defense. And when they play us man, we expect for them to be physical out of that man. But those two games they won was no surprise to me. I kind of expected them to win those two games, to be honest with you, especially being at home. Now, I've been on the road, it's been different, but being at home, I kind of expected them to win. We know they're going to come in here. They always play us tough here. They beat us the last time they came here. They beat us, which I thought we was going to win that game. But we just expect them to come in and be Alabama State. And who's going to play you physical? Who's not going to back down from anything? You got to be ready to play. But I think if we come out and play our game and execute like we're capable of executing, rebound the ball against them, because I think that's going to be key. Rebounding the ball and making sure Harris don't dominate the game. And making sure Destiny don't get in foul trouble trying to check Harris. I think it's going to be huge for both teams to come out successful. We got to make sure that Destiny stays in the game and Harris don't dominate the game.
And then Alabama A&M, Dawn Thornton in her first season, getting a lot of conversation, obviously, 2-0 on the conference. When you look at Bergen, Harris, Smith, Harvey, as well as Pendleton, what do you see in this team? I recognize some players from UAPB that have come over. Beck coming over from UAPB. What do you expect from Dawn Thornton's ball club?
Well, I think it's pretty much same old with Don's teams. She always has some talent teams. She has some talented players. You expect for them to come out and be able to put up a lot of points. If you can keep the score low against them, you got a chance to win. But I think she's dealing with some key injuries too. I watched it where Walker hadn't really played in the last couple of games. And normally she'll start for. I don't think Beck has played at all. I don't remember seeing Beck on any of the lineup. So I don't know what's going on with that. But they got so many other kids that transferred in that makes them so tough. And they had kids that's already there that was already tough. So they're going to be a good basketball team regardless because of their depth. Dawn is a good coach. She knows what she's doing, and she just got.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach. You were just talking about their depth.
Yeah, they got so much depth in all the areas. They're not hurting anywhere when it comes to subbing. You know, they got guys that can come off the bench and be just as solid as their starters. And the same way with their post play. And now, like I said, I don't know about injuries though, because I'm seeing some people who hadn't played. Walker hadn't played in a while. She been in and out of the lineup. I don't think Beck has played at all. So I don't really know their injury update, but they got a solid ball club regardless. You know, they're going to be tough to beat. But I'm just really not worried about other teams. If the Lady Braves get their stuff together, we don't care who we play. We just feel like we just as good as anybody in the league. If we can stay healthy and get our group back and a healthy group back, in which we have right now, and we just got to do our thing. But we know we got two tough games coming up this weekend with Bama State and A&M. We just got to be prepared to play.
Well, finally, Coach, I thought about this earlier, which is the bigger story going into SWAC women's basketball? Tamika Reed leaving Jackson State or Dawn Brown leaving UAPB to go to Alabama A&M? In your opinion?
Uh, that's
Tough one, isn't it?
I think that's a tough one. I think it's tit for tat. To be honest with you, because I was surprised that Don left to go to A&M. I wasn't surprised that Tamika left because all signs pointed toward that was a great time for her to leave because all the horses was gone too. So that was a great time for her to get one of those Power Five jobs or a Power Four, whatever. Get a bigger job, and she did. But that Dunn leaving Pine Bluff was huge to me because I just didn't see that one coming. But after all the stuff that went down at Pine Bluff during the time she was there, I think she felt like she had done everything she could do there, and it was time for her to move on. And I mean, she moved to a great place. Do you see all the new stuff that they got going on the hill at Alabama A&M? That's going to be a tough place to play. They got a beautiful facility up there. Tamika left Jackson and went to Charlotte, so I mean. That's just, I think it's tit for tat, y'all. Both of them going to new places and doing new things.
Well, finally, Coach, how important is it to get these two head to Texas 2-1?
I think it's huge for us, simply because we know we're playing at home. You can't lose a lot of home games and give yourself a chance to win the conference or finish high in the conference. So these games are huge for us, simply because we're at home and we already lost the Jackson game at home. That's huge. But to have these final two and to be 2-1 going into Houston is huge for us. I think that it gives us more confidence in what we are doing, and it looks better. You know what I mean? It looks better. It puts you in the standings better. And don't get me wrong. Now I don't feel like it's nowhere that we can't go on the road and win. I feel like we can go anywhere on the road and win. But it's always good to win at home, especially when you're first starting out. You know, when you want to start out on the winning side, still on the loser side. So being 2-1 is a whole lot better than being 0-3 or 1-2.
Yeah, I think these are two big games. I mean, if you think about it, we've got the Texas swing on this next road trip, and then the following road trip you got Southern and Grambling. And so, you got to look at that. If you get out of our homestand 2-1, then you have an opportunity to do some good stuff. But when you don't, the disaster would be 0-3. And I want to talk about that.
Yeah,
That's what you really don't want. 2-1 is
exactly.
good, 1-2 is not good, but 0-3 before you hit the road is disastrous.
Can't
That's
happen.
not what you want to do.
No, it can't happen. And you we can't, and not, you can't. It can't happen, and you expect to win a conference championship. It can happen, and you can still get in the tournament. But our goal is to try to have an opportunity to win the conference championship right now. With what we did last year, and the people we have coming back now that we're all healthy again. Yeah, that's our goal. We're looking to be 2-1 when we leave this homestand. It's simple. It's simple as that. We don't expect nothing less. We expect to be 2-1.
Well, the game on Thursday at home, just one game, women's only against Alabama State at 6 o'clock. And then on Saturday, doubleheader, men and women, Lady Braves, 2 o'clock as they take on Alabama A&M. Coach Kilbert, we appreciate it, and we'll be talking to you on Thursday. Lady Braves and Alabama State. I expect it to be a physical game, and it's a key game for the Lady Braves. We'll talk to you Thursday.
All right, Charles. Appreciate it.
That's Lady Braves head coach Nate Kilbert, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, we will have the Landon Bussey program And the Braves lost a tough one as well to Jackson State. We'll talk all about that with Braves head coach Landon Bussey right here tomorrow at 6 o'clock. That'll do it for the Nate Kilbert program. For our producers, Jamario Brooks, Cedric Tillman, head coach Nate Kilbert, Charles Edmond here. Enjoy your evening. We'll talk to you right back here tomorrow at 6 o'clock for the Landon Bussey Show. So long.